I always resented the texture work here. You see that? It's a bit too much like a right angle for my tastes. It's such a harsh transition. I mean, the colour, there's a gradiency to it. But it just... That looks way more natural, that one. It looks like lichen, or lichen, or whatever. Lichen, I don't know how you say that word. The green shit that grows on stuff. I do like these little trees. The only way these trees get better is if I can chop them. Cannot chop them. Damn it. Just imagine if that tree was the boss down here. There was a super secret boss and it was the giant tree. The frame rate would be in the toilet, but we would be happy for it. Dragon scale. The unscalable beach. Push it to the limit. Limit. No. I don't think you can invade down here. I'm so happy that's a thing because... Then again, this could be a cool place to fight if the water doesn't affect you. Terrifying clam men with surprisingly high HP against my fire. Jesus Christ, this guy's tough as shit. Why do I get bounced back? That's really weird. Look at the skulls. So back in the beginning, when God created man, these fellas were one of the only sources of twinkling titanite. Look at this. Who's that guy? That's who I want to know. You think it's Daredevil from Season 2? I've not seen Season 2 yet. Could have hit it again with the R2. What does it do? Do your little kick thing. Charge. Right, I reckon that this is Vendrick. He's just grown one of those bony moustaches. You know, what they didn't tell you about Allfather Lloyd is he's the size of a small aircraft carrier. And he's also dead. There you go. Just blew your mind. Law bomb. It looks like he's using a telephone. He's got the clam phone. But here's another honest question, folks. How many people have died falling in the water here? Because I think everybody has. It's just so dishonest and silly. It is a cool looking zone, though. It must be said. Like, it makes me think that this could have been some kind of extension of the kiln. Could have been dangerous. This was one of the last spells I got, too, when I was first playing. I had no idea where this spell in here was. I think a lot of people... Whoa, I'm getting all fucked up by the camera collision. Hey, that don't look like Curse, does it? What's he doing? Are you frostbiting me, son? Well, I'll have you know, frostbite doesn't exist for another 2 games. Frostbittenness. I nearly got pushed off then. So is it just curse frogs? I mean, don't get me wrong, curse frogs can be quite dangerous. Is the curse spray affected by the lighting? Because that is definitely not white. It was white outside. Unless that guy's using some kind of special juice. You using the special juice? Look at him down there, looking all mean. Yeah. Don't want to mess with you, sir. Did I rest at this bonfire? That is the question. I suppose we can play with him a little bit. See how much damage this dude does to me when he punches. Watch this. See that? That is a dude that does not mess about. His tracking's not so great, which is a godsend. Thank God we stopped him then. He was roaring up for another punch. I saw it, yeah. Got an input drop just then. Don't know if you heard it. I hope it came through. I might try and isolate that one. If I use all my humanity? Of course I am. Because I'm a filthy, filthy casual. Kazul. Anyway. That is a very, very dangerous enemy. And I don't think you can parry him either, which is a shame. Because I like to think that I would have tried, and I would know. Similarly, when there was that rumour about the channeler, which I think is bullshit. Because I've tried to parry that guy for a rather large time, and had no success. And I've parried everything that's parryable in this game. We are not fortunate at all with this, fellas. Like, imagine if this was the Chalice dungeon of Dark Souls 1. Just endlessly wandering this crazy, like, almost illusory plane. I think that'd be really cool if it was tons of different bosses, tons of different enemies, and constantly shifting. And like, imagine running with 3 phantoms in a place like this that just goes on forever. Kind of reminds me of that place in Bleach where all the bad things come from. I forget the name of it. It's been a long time since I watched Bleach. I wonder if they got past that massive chunk of story that they just stopped telling because the artist wasn't there or whatever. Where Ichigo was fighting against one of those important people. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're at school again, and our weapons are fighting against us. Did you want to know how that other fight ended? Well, fuck you, because it doesn't exist for the next 30 episodes. This dude should have been a boss. Maybe then we would have found out why he has such a tiny face. Tiny, tiny face. That is a tiny face. Sorry. But that was Ash Lake. Let's go back to the tomb. Oh, we've got the tomb now, finally. So this is how confident I am that we're going to get this. I am not bringing any Homeward Bones. That's the level of confidence I have. You could call it stupid. I would agree with you. It is kind of stupid. I think we might be able to mid-roll. We're about half weight, so mid-roll could still be a thing. Yeah, we're still mid-rolling. That's cool. I'm happy with that. But the PvP I had last night, I should probably talk about that. I was gonna plug in the PVR and capture it, because people, you know, people miss the PvP. I miss the PvP. And I stopped doing it on the channel because it stopped happening, really. That was the main reason. It got harder and harder to find stuff. And I really don't like waiting for PvP. I'm terrible at it. I just am. I get bored. I get overly excited too. And I really want to play. And then when it doesn't happen, I get like the opposite extreme, where I just want to stop. So it's like all tease and no reward, and it's not my thing at all, really. But I went into the kiln because I really liked the kiln, and I never got to play in the kiln when it was back in its most populated. And I ended up invading 3 times in a row really quickly. And each of them was some poor dude running to the boss door, trying to summon Solaire. And I have no qualms against killing some poor dude trying to play the main game, trying to, you know, get the boss beat, because that's my job as an invader. Yeah, every single time they got to that door before I was even halfway through the kiln. And then on the 4th one, the guy stopped. He had a spear. I think he had electricity on his spear as well, which was interesting. I was using my Dark Anniversary build, which is just a Chaos Blade build, which is all business. Darkwood Grain Ring, you know, I come to kill kind of thing. And I had a fight with him. He two-handed the spear, so I two-handed the Chaos Blade. We had an interesting spacing battle. I managed to eradicate him from the world, which is always fun to do. Oh, there it was, guys. There it is. I didn't do it, fucking hell. Finally, the legend is complete. In theory. Get out of here. We lost a little bit of health. I quite like the look of the Mother Mask. At first I thought it was a cat. Like a weird cat face with ears, but it's just some kind of... Whoa! That looked weird. Poke. I don't think that killed them. No, it didn't. It's hilarious. Anyway, guys, we got it. We don't need to do this shit. I can't break them by just running through. It's legit. It's so nasty that there's that fall before that fight. It's a fight that's got mobs. It's a fight that's got a boss that's got a full screen fucking projectile thing. Do they really need to make it that way? I think it's really evil. And they know it's evil, and they still did it, didn't they? They still did it. There's no bonfire in Izalith to warp to. So you've got to do Daughter of Chaos, I think. That's disappointing. Let's have a look at my shit. I tell you what I do remember. Do I have the Pyromancy Flame? Did I get it from that guy I killed? I didn't. Shitty. Anyway, let's warp to the Spider Lady. I wonder if you can feed anything to Frampt to make him make red Titanite chunks. If I remember correctly, they have to be broken down, don't they? So it'd have to be a slab, which I'm not getting that dude a slab. I can get a second one from the Royal Woods, but still, I'm not getting that dude a slab. He can suck a dick. He don't deserve a slab, the bitch. Should probably put this on. But we're on the quest to power up the Zwei, to power up the base cannon. Very close to unlocking the Snoop Dogg. I think we're definitely at the level of around the small, fat, dancing African child. So we're pretty MLG. We're not fully MLG, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. But a mechanic that I should have explained about for people who are new, which I didn't talk too much about, is the rebounding off the shield. When you play Demon Souls, that's where that mechanic really, really means something. Because in Dark Souls, it's still a thing, and it's still very useful. But in Demon Souls, you can make so many attacks bounce back, and it gives you a really good window to attack, especially if you're using a fast weapon. And I think that's one of the things that, when you don't use a shield, you never get a true appreciation for just when and when not to hit. Because if you hit somebody when they're bouncing back off your shield, there's nothing they can do if you're fast enough. And I don't say that in an homage to our friend, Mr. Darkside Philly. I say that just as it's kind of true, you know? It's like when you go for a parry. When you do the parry animation, you better make sure it lands, because if it doesn't, you cannot move. Like, I cannot cancel this. I have to wait till it ends. And it might only be a couple seconds, but those couple of seconds are long enough for somebody to go whomp on your face, or even worse, run around your back and backstab you. If they're wearing a Hornet, that could be the end of the fight. All because you wanted to run up to somebody and go whomp, which 9 times out of 10, if you're playing against people who aren't PvPers, they'll fall for that. But if you come up against that guy who's seen that 1,000 times, he's probably going to kick you. Or just backstab you. Or combust you, that's a fun one. Parry my pyromancy. And that was one of the things I hated about Dark Souls 2. Because it had weapons that were unparryable. This game has attacks that are unparryable, and I disagree with those. But to go and have weapons that can't be parried, it's the ultimate douchery. And if you don't know they can't be parried, it's free damage for the person who's attacking you. Because you're there trying to swing your shield, trying to make something happen, and they know they've got invincibility. So they're just going to swing away. They're going to singe your face off, and there's nothing you can do. Not even Mel Gibson can help you at that point. Okay. The quest for chunks. Look at him. What a miserable enemy that is to fight. And I know, because I've cleared out this entire room of them. And that was boring. You know, you can say you've done it. I recommend doing it at least once, so you can understand why it's a good idea never to fight them. Oh, that's my way of thinking, anyway. I don't think these little shits drop anything good. I really don't. They make some bizarre noises, though. This is the dude we want. I want you, Marsh. Power up the base skill. What rig you got, bitch? Don't show me that. Filthy. Ah. Why does nobody drop what I want? Definitely got the old serpent ring on, because you can see the serpent in the top left. Ah. Izalith. Why do you drain my performance so much? Dunk. Like, imagine if this weapon, yay, does that much stamina damage in Dark Souls 3. That's going to be ridiculous. People using Ultra Greatswords are going to have to think. Imagine that. Imagine having to think to use an Ultra Greatsword. And that's a silly thing to say, because I do think if you're playing PvP well or competently with these weapons, you have to think, because you have to pick your shots, you have to poise through stuff to get your guaranteed hits. You have to do a lot of preparation, you have to earn those hits, unless you land the first one and then you just stunlock people to death, which is a valid strategy. But in the new game, stamina is so important. It's so wonderfully important. It's so important, it's probably the most important thing in that game. Because if you swing this... Well, let me show you, shall we? Let's do a little experiment. So I'm going for a punish on your attack, and I go, whoom, and it misses, and I jump away with the roll. That's all my stamina gone really quickly. I've got, like, what, 2 squares left? If you start attacking me then and I block it, your first attack knocks my stamina down. Your second attack knocks my stamina down to empty. I get stunned because you break my block, and then you do a parry riposte thing. You stick your sword in my chest and you do a critical, and you have really good criticals, and I'm dead. All because I missed a swing, and then I rolled away, wasting even more stamina when you were still on me. Like, that's literally how serious this shit's gonna get. Oh, he broke my weapon! And it doesn't seem to matter, thankfully. That durability damage, you cheeky bitch, but you dropped a chunk. Are they gone for good? That can't be true. I guess I've never farmed them before. They can't all be gone, surely. They were one-off squiggly monsters? As if! I didn't know that, and if I did, I forgot it a long time ago. Shit. Here's a question. Where will my souls be if I throw myself down this pit?